We are back with another Age of Mythology Retold point of view game, and today we're watching Pegasus, the Zeus, versus Best Numbers 73. So I guess those are the best numbers. But I don't know who Best Numbers is, but these guys played 3 games on the ranked ladder. One took one game, one took the other, and this is the 3rd game, so I thought it'd be an interesting one. Also, I realized I haven't done a point of view video of Zeus in a long time. I was just putting together a list of, kind of a tally to see who we've seen, who we haven't seen. We haven't seen Zeus in ages, and if we can watch anybody play Zeus, it's Pegasus. He's one of the best Zeus players there is, or Greek in general, so he normally has a good idea. So I assume if you want to copy some kind of build for Greeks that's going to be strong, Pegasus is normally your guy. So what he's doing here is he's going for his pickaxe and hand axe very, very early. Was that hand axe? Was that hand axe already? No, it looks like he cancelled the hand axe. No, he's having hand axe on this one. That was a bit of a weird UI bug there. But he's getting pickaxe and hand axe really early. Moves one over to the wood early, over to the gold, then the rest food for now. So it looks like a pretty solid build, an eco-heavy build. He's on the map Megalopolis, which is a pretty big map. It's quite hard to kind of get around it. I wonder if he's going to go for 2 town centers off of also getting double upgrade. That would be pretty wild, but we'll see if that's what he decides to do. Looks like the Berserk's coming in, looking to spy some villagers. He's probably looking for the gold mine. It's the ones you normally want to spy, because those are the excuse me, because those are the boys that want to go for a town center. See that the town center is missing the poor Berserk there. Looking at the relic that we found, building is construct 10% faster. It's not the best. 10% isn't too much, but I mean, if you're building a town center or something that takes a long time, it will definitely add up. And then any relic is worth it now if you want to go for it for that favor trickle. And we also did see that the zebra here got pushed under with that kind of luring technique. So you lure these under, and people in the Age of Mythology community like to call this. They don't call it luring; they call it herding. But I always thought it was luring. But that's what they're going for here. And then Pegasus going for his extra gold to get that temple up. And he's going for a nice advanced time. Nothing too crazy fast. Just going for, a very nice foundation kind of thing. Setting up to get more resources in. Now, Scarab Pendant. Siege weapons are stronger. Now, this relic was never really that good before. But now siege weapons are crazy. So maybe them being even more crazy is good. And then villager hit points. It's always worth it. 40% villager hit points. It's interesting to see what Pegasus values with this. You see his Cadascopus stopping quite often, so he must just not shift click it wildly. What I normally do is go just shift click all over the place, and then he ends up getting lost. But he's more just valuing having it in the place that he wants rather than continuously shift clicking. If you watch some of these top level guys, like if you watch like the Mr. stream when he's back, he basically just keeps an eye on this the whole time and barely shift clicks it. It's pretty wild. Whereas what other people seem to do is what I do, where they shift click loads and loads of places, and then 10 seconds later they do all the shift clicking again. It just seems a bit redundant, but it is what I do as well. But we're seeing Athena come through for, that looks like almost a 5 minute, what's that, like a 4:40 advance time ish, which is kind of later. Even on this patch here, he's got his villagers split where he's got 7 on the food still. So there's no second town center coming up, you would assume, even though he does have a lot of wood in the bank. This is, to me, looking like a Heracles, and then see what he wants to go into. But he is getting his food and gold gather rate in, just thanks to those upgrades. It's a very, very nice start. Then we're going to see the Loki base, see what's going in here. Just decided to check the Loki base last, and we will see that Loki will be going through for Seti. And an early Olympian parentage. I love this. So this makes your hero come out 50% faster, or half the speed, we should say. So your Heracles comes out really, really fast, and then it makes them stronger also, so they can dive under towers, and I definitely like that. We also see a forward military academy next to the hunt. So this is something that we don't really see very often anymore, but back in the old game, when you always had to leave your base really, really early for hunt packs like this. I mean, this was the old game. This would be an insane hunt pack. You never saw anything like this. But something that players did to kind of almost defend themselves is put down a forward military building. This isn't so much for rushing. It can also be used for rushing, but it means that if if the Loki player comes in with some raiding cavalry, you then have a couple of hoplites to kind of help you out there, and I think it's a really, really good idea. So I like this adaptation of the build from Pegasus to do that. Looks like the Catascopus is seeing if there's a town center. Lokis generally don't go for second town centers, but on a map like this map is so big you can kind of get away with a lot. So it wouldn't be a surprise to see a second town center if the Loki just wants to be a bit janky and switch things up. Especially if you're in, maybe not this matchup, maybe if you're against Egyptians or something where they want to go for a second town center, you could just get your own also. And this is a ridiculous amount of hunt. What is 400 times 8? That's a whole bunch. We also have a very nice wooden wall, a little cheeky wall here from the house, the temple. These really cheap walls. You see a bit of an attack coming through. The hearse is coming through, and the hoplites are there easily to defend. And this amount of food will get him a good amount of these hoplites. Also waiting for his Sarissa before he attacked there, just because they could do a bit of extra damage, get a bit of extra range on them. And Sarissa is a very, very strong upgrade. I wouldn't expect to see the other upgrade. The other one is Aegis Shield, I think is what it's called, which is the one which gives you pierce armor. Very, very strong, but you're against classical age Norse, who, unless you're diving underneath towers or diving underneath town centers, it's just not worth it. The troll does do some good pierce damage. Nice bit of micro there to move away quickly. But we have Heracles with his Olympian parentage in, and he is one scary lad. So you do have to watch out for him. So the heroes are kind of going around together. How many relics did he get? Just the 40% extra villager hit points. But that will definitely help. A random berserk raid's getting a bit of value here. I think that was a really low HP villager, and that is a nice snipe from Mr. Best Numbers 73. I'm not sure if this is someone who's changed their account name or whether it's like a Smurf or something. But Best Number 73 is what it is. And double archery range. This is so kind of reminiscent of how Zeus used to be played. You used to get your double upgrade as you were advancing to the classical age in terms of your eco. Then you would drop down 4 military buildings and just full send. And that's back when Pegasus was also very strong. So it's nice to see he's going back to his roots there. The hearses are going to catch out some of these hoplites here, but the hoplites do have a bit of pace on them, so should be able to run away. I think they are 0.1 quicker, but all snared up. Heracles and Jason should be enough, while also getting some damage done on these buildings. Throwing axemen in defense though, so that's a little bit scary. And when one of these gets snared up, they're so slow. And I love this micro. I absolutely love that. The reason that he did that is because that one was snared and he knew that it was dead anyway, so he just moves it away. So that means that his enemy units are going to be slightly further away from his hoplites, hopefully saving the rest of them. Unfortunately, he does lose one extra, but he could have potentially lost quite a few more. Not going for the hoplite upgrade, not going for medium hoplites, just deciding not to go for that one. Instead, going to get some Toxotes out to snipe the throwing axeman. And the Minotaur trying to be a bit sneaky, going around the back. That is something how this map spawns Megalopolis, is you can run around the back. The trees often don't go to the back. We see it here from Pegasus. He's already nicely put houses in. Looks like that is nicely done there. Couple of raiders coming out. Unfortunately, the Toxotes come out at just the wrong time, but they should be able to join in with the rest of the army. And Best Numbers spots that one. Minotaur coming in. Minotaur unupgraded is a bit slow, so it is kind of hard to get in. I think, does he fit through that gap? No. I think there's a little gap there. Probably a hoplite size gap, but not a Minotaur size gap. And now we're seeing the benefit of the hoplites with their extra damage versus buildings. Maybe Zeus is good this patch. Like I said, I haven't seen any Zeus. I haven't really even played Zeus. I've been more of a Poseidon player when going for the Greeks. But Toxotes doing well. The thing is, without ballistics, if the units are moving, you basically miss every shot. So you've got to micro them nicely. He is microing nicely onto the throwing axeman. Good restoration. When Heracles got low, Heracles tanked 350 HP plus whatever he did from that restoration also. Heracles putting in a shift, but that is restoration down, healing spring for Best Numbers. So pretty equal there. It was a nice restoration to sort out the Heracles, though. We did see the Minotaur going down. But still, just classical age sending, not full sending, potentially going up to age 3. It looks like that is a choice or something that he could potentially go for. I mean, so when you're playing Zeus, you have two options. You have the Dionysus, which is all your cavalry upgrades, but the Bronze and Hydra are just so strong as a kind of all-in push. And if you have this many units, it's very, very strong. But also, such a big map like this, you kind of want the Underworld too. See the Pegasus coming out, moving to the sides. But I think maybe the Underworld is the play. You also get the Apollo tech, which is the extra damage on your archers, and he's already got so many. I think that's probably the play. Is Apollo is what I would choose here. Does get a Valkyrie spawn, which is pretty big. Heracles is going to chase that one down, and Jason, but nice bit of micro from numbers there. Longhouse is in the way to stop that gold mine. The hoplites are getting some good damage on these raiding cavalry, but I mean, they're just getting turned down so quickly from these medium throwing axemen. But there's nothing to really stop the Toxotes there because all of the raiders went down. The trolls do a lot of damage. Need to micro away from that. Does manage to only hit 2. And should be able to shoot them as he goes away if that's what he chooses to do, yeah. And then that's just going to scare the throwing axeman. Looks like there's some even fights. I think he did lose that one a little bit because of these trolls. The trolls extremely strong. Managed to counter the raiders pretty nicely. Unupgraded raiders against anything that's not an archer is quite weak, to be honest. If you're a Norse player and you just want to get better at something, get medium raiders when you've got like 8 to 10 of them. They're weak otherwise. Heracles comes back out. Got Jason coming as well. Wants his pressure rather than going for some of these. Not really got too much on the favor, but he is banking this favor that he could potentially spend on the... Did he not get Olympian parentage? I swear he got it earlier. Does he just have 358? No. I'm a little bit confused there. Maybe he cancelled it. I swear the Heracles did come out faster. Anyway, regardless, maybe I can watch this back and see why. Gold mine's expired. Maybe the new time is around 12 minutes. Probably a little bit before that because this one's been mined for a while. Around that 11-minute mark is when you're on those. And the Norse are normally a little bit sooner. This could be defended with a nice wall here. It needs to be quite a long wall. That's the only thing. But it is one of the more defensive gold mines here. This one's right in the open, but these buildings were such a good idea. For this hunt is still being grabbed. He moved out as soon as he went to the classical age. So that was, I think that was about 5 to 6 minutes. So he's had half this game on this food and is still going. And so much value from it. Nice find here with that raid. I don't know what these guys are doing. You can also turn around and hit those raiders. There are 2 low HP hoplites. Should be able to move those away. Does micro that nicely to bring those low HP hoplites in afterwards so they don't get hit to start with. But it was just a bait. Pegasus doesn't go for the bait. So Gorma the Old right there. And Dionysus is the choice for that bronze Hydra play. Can go for those Hydras. Can also just save up an extra 20 favor. Go for another restoration, go for a bronze, and then when you take some damage with that bronze, use a restoration, and it can be very, very strong. Kind of like the Ancestors Eclipse of the Greeks, that's what I like to call it. The bronze restoration combos. Only Zeus that has that one, but very, very strong if you can get it. And some heavy infantry, ballistics is definitely the choice that he needs to go for. So what's Heracles? We didn't see his HP because he's in the heroic age now, so he gets a little bit more. Hydra back to defend. Looks like a round of berserks coming. Hoplites come in. Nice defensive building to just stop these guys. Can also get another ghost building up or quick wall. You're an AoE 2 guy. They do have 77 HP with their with their relic. Doesn't even have the extra upgrade here. If you went to that, they'd have a absurd amount of HP. Nice find on those villagers that just hang around for a little bit too long, or maybe they were actually on this gold mine, deciding to go for 2 gold mines at once on completely opposite sides of the map without defending this one. So units out of position slightly. Jason's going to get taken down. Heracles should be able to run away. 5 speed. No, we have these guys at 5.3 speed. Ignore that. Does also See, there's so many gatherers here. But opting to run away, wants to catch out some of these. There's a big army here, though. And that's the other side of the pond, so he's actually fine. Probably wants to bring his army together because the best numbers here, he definitely has the speed advantage. He's got the raiders, he's got the Forseti upgrade, Hall of Thanes, hearses, which are very, very fast. Also getting some elephants up here. So much hunt on this map. It's like Heracles is scaring these off. That was 10 villagers that were fighting for quite a while, or not gathering even. So really not getting the value there. We see the ballistics. Oh, ballistics Toxotes. Very, very scary. Does need to run. Hydra is slow. She's the same speed as the Toxotes. Might have to turn and burn this one. It might be bronze versus flaming weapons. Flaming weapons does not win that fight unless bronze has been nerfed too much, but bronze normally wins that fight. Needs to just make sure to get down those Valkyries, get down those trolls with that Odysseus sat in the back, still throwing axemen, doing so much damage. Do they have ballistics? No, they don't. So the hoplites can actually dodge if they try to with their almost 5 speed. Bolt does go down on one of these trolls a little bit late, and it ends up being kind of even thanks to these spawns because of the flaming weapons. You get extra spawns. But Pegasus is winning this fight, does force the throwing axeman back. We did say that bronze wins those, but it was pretty close, to be honest. He wanted to be cheeky with that fight. Putting up a dock here to get the free Scylla would have been a nice shout. But one thing that is the aftermath of any flaming weapons is heavy myth units coming in. Heavy myth units from Loki this time. Because you get so much extra favor from all the extra damage you've done. But Odysseus tanks for so long. What a guy. But a miss micro, though, onto this battle ball. Corrects it almost instantly. That was the sound of Odysseus dying, but he is still alive. And tanking up all that throwing axeman damage. So much value. He's an expensive unit. There he goes. And he does end up going down. Needs to just rebuild him straight away. We don't see him being built, but definitely needs to. I think that's like the main tip for playing Greeks, to be honest, is you've always got to make sure your heroes are out. And Pegasus does notice as soon as Odysseus goes down, he's like, right, they've actually all died, so let's get all these back. And best numbers does clean up. I think Pegasus thought he was going to go to up to the next stage through Hera, so he didn't build any units there, but not expecting to lose all of his ones to those throwing axemen. So a bit of back and forth game here. Does have 5 military academies, 3 archery ranges, the fortress to get the heroes out. So he is fine. Heroes can tank up those battle balls very nicely. Still just leaving those 3 on favor. I wonder if he's kind of done the maths on it to say like 3 is going to be the best amount there, which the most efficient amount, let's say. Until later on when you just want to spam them on there. It does have double fortress on both gold mines. No sentry tower upgrade. Just going to get that one right now. Hasn't needed it so far, so there's no point. Pegasus in a pretty good spot. Pegasus, the unit, in a good spot to spot these buildings going up. No check of which gold mine he's on. It's very difficult to raid, is the only thing about the Zeus player. You can send a handful of hoplites there, but what we saw with how fast Loki is, it's very easy for the Loki to catch up with these 4.9 speed heavy hoplites there, with the raiders, with the hearses, battle boars even. Battle boars are fast enough. But Hera is definitely needed. You want that Bellerophon out. He shuts down any myth unit play very, very easily. Not any myth unit play, but something like these guys. He can jump on them and they can't really run away from him. Battle boars are a very strong siege unit also, so the fortresses, he's in a bit of trouble here. Those fortresses can go down. Fighting underneath the watchtower with crenellations definitely helps. Toxotes sat in the back. Fortress is eventually going to go down. Doesn't have any masons or anything. They just have 3,000 HP now. Okay. Kind of missteps with those hoplites, trying to bait, I think, maybe trying to bait some away. I'm not really sure. I think he just misstepped with those hoplites. Throwing axemen though, going after the heroes rather than the hoplites, has managed to take those down. Throwing axemen in big numbers do an insane amount of damage. You do really have to watch out for them. Even a tank like Heracles just can't get on. That's why you want the Bellerophon, because he goes so fast. If you're at max range from these throwing axemen, then you'll be able to dodge them. You'll be able to dodge the hits and go after those battle boars. After those villagers go down, it's going to be even on the villager count. It's such a back and forth, crazy game. The gold mine up here still has 3,000 left in it, half a gold mine. Going after this one's very difficult to defend. Battle boars have noticed, and quick reactions. Only Odysseus sat on the map, building nothing to try and get Hera out, knowing that he needs his Bellerophon. That is it. That's going to be... Without having that, you might lose to just more and more of these battle boars coming out. We see the side of best numbers here. Shouldn't be able to see, but we can see building just constant battle boars with all this favor he's getting. Got some Godis out even, just in case there's any myth units coming from the other side. But Peltasts, yeah, they shut down Godis very quickly. Hill Fort nicely placed on this gold mine. So Pegasus only really has this gold mine. He can sneak up to this gold mine if he wants to. I assume this one is probably being gathered by best numbers. It was earlier. It isn't. So he could even sneak up to this one. Or that one's his choice, or sneak around. It's very, very difficult, because if you do sneak, it's just so tough to get back. Hill Fort in the face. It's a one town center game, which is pretty wild. Something you don't see too often. Might need to play some Zeus for these kind of games. These are the games that I like. Think he might be saving up for that second restoration. But it's so close to the bronze. Could even just go for bronze. Only being 30 favor difference. Depends on the kind of situation, I guess. If he's mid fight, just wants a small edge, go for the restoration. If he wants to do a massive push or push best numbers back, then just go for the bronze. But not building any myth units is also kind of interesting. We have seen the Godi, but when you get through Hera, you can get the fortress upgrade, which gets your Myrmidon out. You can get some Medusa with all the Medusa upgrades. You could spend this favor very, very quickly if that's the avenue that Pegasus wants to go for. Some really scary units, and we have a big lightning storm. The lightning storm just forgot to kind of do anything. Gathers in a few units, doesn't gather in everything, so it's going to do some damage, but the battle boss tanked quite a lot of that. So it was a lightning storm that was definitely needed to push back Bellerophon in. What are the armory upgrades like? Bronze and copper, bronze weapons, copper armor. Could have even gone Hephaestus. To just push out with iron weapons and stuff. You get those upgrades so quick. Yeah, because best numbers is in pretty much the same spot. So Pegasus could have... He'd still have to wait an extra minute or so to get those in. So the sort of tempo play is definitely the Lightning Storm. You also get the Medusa out. And I don't think he's going for the... I think it's called like Argive Patronage or something like that. Yeah, that's it. To get your divine damage Myrmidon out. Only has 2 fortresses though. Maybe if he had that third one earlier, he might go for it. But Bellerophon isn't even here for the battle boars. He's in it for the raids. He's looking for this gold mine, and he's beelining straight for it. And he might jump on something, but it's actually gone. Which means he's going to have to go all the way around. Potentially, he might be over here. Pegasus and Bellerophon are going to be searching for those villagers, while the Petrobolus sieging down the middle. The gimmick of this map is you get the extra town center. But Gatherers in the middle of the map getting berries is an interesting choice, but Bellerophon says no to that. Does he 2-hit villagers also? He 2-hits villagers. He 1-hits them with the jump and then 2-hits them afterwards. They don't have the upgrade though. If they had the upgrade to stay alive a bit longer, I don't think they'd be 2-hit. So many villagers here. Just the lone Petrobolus here. Jarl's the unit to try and take down Bellerophon. Oh, he's swinging the whole army over here to deal with one unit. Maybe he was expecting Pegasus to bring all his guys over, but he just wanted Bellerophon to do some damage. It's so annoying. Could even pick up that relic if he wants to, but could have picked it up earlier. Didn't want to. Getting the settlement to then secure his next gold mine while doing all this distraction. All these units here. Heavy hoplites, no champion in. Deciding to not go for champion. Does get an extra Medusa, which I do like. And then saving up for that restoration again. I'm pretty sure that's it. Wanting to get up to full population rather than going for those champion hoplites. Peltas to take down the throwing axemen. They take down throwing axemen so much quicker than the Toxotes do. And does that restoration because he has quite a few low HP units, forcing back numbers there. And the Nidhogg comes in. There are 4 heroes out, two Medusas. This Nidhogg will go down so quick unless it's microed very, very well. Needs to use that special to get away, and does. Oof. That into the Rock Giant special, and all the Pegasus units go down. Nidhogg 900 HP though, because he put it in such a precarious spot. Pegasus does have to run though. Rock Giant spawn, absolutely huge. These guys are so low. Town Center does go down for free, though. Villagers moving up to this one. I think there's going to be a best numbers thing on here. No, none of them? That's interesting. So he's on 3 gold mines. Not really going for raids outside of Bellerophon, though. I mean, I guess he did go for a big raid with that. But I don't think the Loki player is going for really many raids at all. Just kind of reacting to what Pegasus is doing. And he's trying to go for a raid now, but when Zeus is in the Mythic Age, he makes it so much harder. Bellerophon actually just does leave them to it. Knows that the battle ball is just going to be running straight into a big army, so just leave them to it. Hasn't gone through Apollo, so can't get that healing. You could whack a temple up, get this guy back up to full HP. He could jump on one of those if he really wants to, but I think he's going for this gold mine down here, hoping that there are some Dwarves Gatherer combo down there. Getting the temple up to let all these 8 villagers pray, I'm assuming. That's quite a lot on prayer duty, though. He's going for that Argive patronage. And yes, that is it. Yeah, the dwarves can turn around, but I mean, they're just going to die. All go down to my main man, Bellerophon here. What a disgusting unit. Jarls are trying, but he'd be too quick. Nidhogg has found all these. Oh, huge special. They had 6 seconds left to go up. Potentially could have just spread them out to then. And that's 6 seconds with 1 villager also. So if he had all of them, maybe could have been fine. Does have the double fortress here. Double fortress plus hero should be fine to take out this Nidhogg if he can micro the fortress onto the Nidhogg. Also going full Medusa Matriarch not with the upgrade yet. Not with the extra Hera upgrade to give them more damage. Nidhogg getting good value, but that now is in a fight that he is not going to win. And that is the end of the dragon. Now we see the tiny little raids coming over. Something you can do in the big late game, because these guys can't turn around and hit. These are heavy hoplites. I mean, the Peltas, they could probably turn around and hit. He doesn't do much damage, but the hoplites do. And just leaving those to their own devices while he micros this side. The Goaties are in, though, and the Goaties do not like Medusas. That is for sure. The Medusas en masse are insane, and we now see the 6 fortresses coming in. For 45 seconds to get one of these Myrmidon. You get them for free also. They're just constantly building. You can also be building anything else while these are going as well. They're shown blue here, so they're in like a separate queue, basically. The Rock Giants and all the Loki Myth units are coming in, though. New Bellerophon comes in. It's like a full throwing axeman army here with the Goaty. Just diving in and out with these Medusa specials. This raid numbers never saw it. He's only just spotted it now. It's been going for 30 seconds, my friend. That is unfortunate. That's what happens in these long games. You can just lapse your concentration for a little bit. Whole front line has been turned into stone. We've got about 6-7 goadies there, but underneath the fortresses will take those out very easily. Champion hoplites now in, and we'll be able to take down these gatherers very, very quickly, even though they do have their upgrade now. Not the spawn you really want against Medusas. A Fafnir to just give him extra gold, but Pegasus doesn't really need the gold. He's in a pretty good spot here. Just needs to get all his units out. Has triple fortress here. And just, if he just waits, I mean, does he still have he has 9 fortresses going up. There's fortresses everywhere. And let's have a look at these guys. So they're slow, okay? They're slow. They've got 4.3 speed, but they do 11.8 divine damage a second, and they have bonus damage versus buildings. So rather than the hoplites that do hack damage versus buildings, these guys do divine damage. So that mixed with the building up damage to buildings multiplier, that's it. They're like a siege unit, a proper siege unit, not like a hoplite that's like kind of like a half siege unit. It's a proper siege unit. Bellerophon getting scorched. That is fine. Numbers does have the access to the extra town center. I don't know if he's got these. I mean, judging by this, he doesn't. Which is interesting, because he's got 4,000 wood. I don't know what he's doing. I'm a little bit confused about that. He's got 4,000 wood. Maybe he just doesn't want to send the units back to just get these. If he just sends one unit to both, he will eventually get them. Market rates, he could even sell wood for a little bit. It isn't ideal, but you've got 4,000. Bit confused about that, but oh well. Pegasus getting up to his 205 population. Will be more when he gets fortified TCs. And the Loki army is terrifying. Low HP battle boars though. Low HP Fafnir for even more gold. And the Zeus here has a ridiculous amount of gold. He has 50 villagers on gold, just completely mining out everything. The one thing you don't want to do here, though, is you don't want to buy other resources, because then it makes gold or those other resources better to sell for the player that doesn't have as much gold. Bellerophon raids. He's only got 67 HP, but it can be so annoying. And he gets out of there. How many are we up to now? 11 fortresses. Oof. Just sitting back. Wants to get all his upgrades. Needs iron weapons here. Now, this is when I would get this Aegis shield, though. Definitely worth it now. And we see them tear down the buildings. There's 10 of them. Look at them go. That's like maybe three catapults worth there, probably. Maybe two and a bit. Very nice. All heroes in. The fire giants have their hats on, but there's enough heroes to deal with them. You would like to think. Jason, they're all getting targeted down. Myrmidon will do okay because of their divine damage. Gold finish at the top, but it's fine. There's 5,000 in the bag. What is this game? Does he still not have these? He's now doing it. What? How's this game going to end? I'm so confused. So, just to kind of recap at where we are. Best numbers. He has an extra town center. That's something. Because he's 4 to 3 town centers. Pegasus has double the amount of villagers. He has 5,000 gold in the bank. He has 12 fortresses, getting a champion Myrmidon every 45 seconds. Only heavy peltasts, because he doesn't feel like upgrading that. And constantly getting out his units. Looks like he's going for a bronze push. I assume that's what's happening. Maybe he's going to go for restoration again. But I feel like it's a full Myrmidon, full send bronze push at 235 population. Is my guess right now. He does have enough for a bronze, but I would wait. He's just waiting to get these in. I think he knows he was in a winning spot, and he's just waiting to get these rather than spending his resources and actually doing it. What a crazy game. I don't think it's even worth checking these stats here, but Pegasus does take over poor Moose right at the end. So that's how to play Zeus in the current patch. If you have an idea of what god you want to see for these, then let me know, and I'll see you in the next one.